Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another session on Informatica Cloud. It's our constant endeavor to keep you updated about our new offerings and major enhancements. So as a part of the ongoing series, I'm going to talk about our Microsoft Azure Blob storage connector and how some of our customers have been using it. So a few of our customers have been bringing in data for their HD Insight and Azure machine learning processing. So they are actually pulling in data from multiple disparate sources from their on-prem or any of the SaaS offering or from any of their file systems. They are also trying to create a master data lake on Azure. And some of our customers are trying to create an easy backup or a low-cost storage for their services. So in today's demo, I will show you how easy it is to create a snapshot of a customer information and store that on an Azure Blob. And for that, I will go over to our InformaticaCloud.com. So this must be a familiar interface to most of you when you see this after logging in from InformaticaCloud.com and coming into apps and then coming to data synchronization. So you can create a new data synchronization task, which is a very simple 6-step data wizard process. For the purpose of the demo, I have created a task which is pulling in data about my customer information and moving it to the Azure Blob. So some of the supported task operations for the Azure Blob is insert and delete. So I go and create next, where it is actually going to point me to my SQL Server connection. So let me go over some of the connection parameters for the SQL Server. And I can choose what is my server version and what's the username, password, hostname, port, what's the database name, and what's the schema. I can do a test connection and click on OK. I can also go and create a new connection if I don't already have a valid connection. Then I can choose selecting from a single table or from multiple tables. So for the purpose of the demo, I'm selecting account information from the account table in the SQL Server. As you can see in the data preview option, it says that it has total number of 67 columns, and I can already see that the first 10 rows from the data set. Another thing which I observe is that the first 10 characters from the ID are all same. So when moving data into my Azure Blob, I can strip them down and move only the relevant information. So I go to my third step where I'm going to choose the target connection, and this will be my Azure Blob. So I choose an existing connection, or I can go and create a new one. So for the purpose of the demo, let's view what the existing connectors are. So here I see the properties which I need to provide for the connection. And I can get all these properties from my Azure portal. So let's see, where do I get them from? So if you go to portal.azure.com and log in, so I can see what my storage account is. And this is the account which I'm using. And I see the connection parameters over here, and I can also see the list of containers. So come back to my Informatica, and I provide my account name, I provide my account key, and the container information, which I'm choosing as customer accounts. You can either enable a debug logger or you can disable it based on your bandwidth. And I can also choose what the staging area for this connector would be and what are the different type of delimiters. So if your data consists of a comma inside the data, then you would choose like a tab or a space as a delimiter. So if you already have one of the target objects, either you can choose to override that or you can go and create a new target. So in this case, I'll go and create a new target from my source data, and this I'm doing it on the fly, and I see that I have all the fields already pre-populated. So I'll go and click OK, and now it has already created successfully the schema for the object. Now in step 4, I can choose some data filters in terms of the number of rows to process or for some of the date type fields. Now I can choose what my ID is, and as I already saw that my ID, the first 10 characters were always same. So I'll go to my field expressions and I'll look at all my available fields inside my account table. Now I can apply any of the functions available through the Informatica platform. So I will apply substring, and I'm going to choose any data after character 11, which is relevant for me. And I click OK, and I'm done. And I go to the next step, which is for the scheduling. So either I can do it manually, or I can schedule the task at a particular date time with a repeat frequency. I can also provide any kind of a pre-processing or a post-processing command, such as changing the name of the processed files. I can also provide success and error directories, which will contain any data which was subsequently not transferred due to any data issues. And I'll just go and save and run this task. So while the task continues to run, I just wanted to speak something about the technical capabilities of our connector. So we are using Azure Storage SDK for Java for this connector. We first set up the Azure Storage connection string. We then create a container if it already doesn't exist. We upload the blob to container as cloud block blobs and use file input stream to upload contents. We also have the ability to list the blobs in the container, as you saw that in step 3 of the target. For downloading the blobs, we use cloud blob item and download it as file using file output stream. That would be the use case when you are using our Azure Blob connector on the source side. And finally, we have the ability to delete a blob from a container. So coming back to this task, we saw that it has successfully uploaded 149 rows. So now let's go and verify that data. So I'll just sign out, and then I would sign in again. So I would go back to my account on Azure and go back to my container and download the file. Come here, I click on storage account. I go to my relevant storage account, click on containers, and this was the container which I specified. And now let's see what the blob information it actually stored. And let me now download this file and we'll save it. Yes, and now I'll open it, and now I see the IDs have in fact been only the relevant portion which I was interested in. So this was a sample demo from our Informatica Blob storage. For more information, please visit informaticacloud.com. Thank you, and have a good day.